Still ahead, big and bold messages for diversity and inclusion.
Dr. Tana M talks to us about what's blocking companies from getting this to actually work in the workplace. Joining us now is Dr. Tana M. She's an award-winning diversity and inclusion strategist, also best-selling author. Good morning, good to see you.
Good morning, good to see you as well.
So many companies using strong public messaging to push back on discrimination within their company. How is that working, and is that helping with the way that these workers in these companies feel?
Well, following the murder of George Floyd last year, several organizations actually came forward with very bold statements and commitments about increasing the diversity of their Black employees. And some organizations actually pledged millions of dollars to support Black businesses, historically Black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, as well as marginalized communities where they conduct business. And now, almost a year later, we're seeing some of those organizations have done better at this than others in fulfilling those goals and commitments, while others have either slowed down the progress or have had minimal success in actually accomplishing them.
What are some of the specific things that you think companies need to do to achieve the goals that you're talking about?
Well, first, I would say I recommend assessing your employees, and that could be done through multiple ways, because diversity and inclusion should not be a top-down process, but rather a bottom-up process. So you want to hear directly from your employees about what's working well and where are there areas for improvement as it relates to your diversity and inclusion efforts. So a few ways to do that would be conducting surveys, small focus groups or listening sessions, town halls, or even through your employee resource groups, or ERGs if you have them.
And after getting feedback from employees, what's next for leaders to consider?
Yeah, so you definitely want to seek the guidance of a professional diversity and inclusion practitioner. Oftentimes, D&I lands in the lap of human resources or the most senior leader who happens to be a Black, Indigenous person of color or a woman, but that doesn't necessarily qualify them for the work. So whether you hire someone internally and give them the resources that they need to succeed, such as staff, budget, reporting directly to the CEO, or if you hire a D&I, external D&I consultant, you'll want someone who's experienced in change and project management, communications, as well as shifting cultures through the lens of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging for all employees.
But for company leaders, you're talking about sort of a change in the way that they think, and how does that happen?
Well, I recommend first that they keep their promises. Like you said in the opening, we saw quite a few organizations last year following the murder of George Floyd make these bold statements, but where are they now, right? So we're already hearing reports of organizations who have either not followed through on those pledges or have kind of fallen off the track. And now employees, shareholders, customers are all paying attention to diversity and inclusion priorities like never before. Now, I don't recommend overcommitting, and I tell the CEOs I partner with to be thoughtful and intentional in their approach to ensure they set reasonable goals that truly align with their company culture and value, as well as their level of commitment, both financially and through time. Diversity and inclusion is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And you'll never be completely done because there will always be a new house on fire, whether that's based on race, gender, sexual orientation, or disability, or any other social category that marginalizes employees. Diversity and inclusion is truly a work in progress. You want to eat the elephant one bite at a time.
Dr. M, thank you so much. Appreciate you being with us this morning. Dr. Tana M is an award-winning diversity and inclusion strategist, also a best-selling author. For more information, you can check out her website and follow her on social media.